and welcome to your yoga studio. Today it is filled with cats. It is sunny here in Portland today, and it is so lovely. And welcome to Simple Sunday Flow. I'm Kate. I'm so grateful that you're here today, and we're gonna do a little flow and maybe a little leg burn at the end. It's like any other flow. Listen to your body. If you're feeling sore or tight in a particular area, feel free to not do that pose and join back in when you feel comfortable. We are going to start in a comfortable seated position if you aren't already there, or you can lay down if that feels more comfortable. We're going to take a deep cleansing breath. Softening your gaze, and if you like, you can close your eyes. Bringing in a moment of stillness, a moment of silence before our practice together. Focusing on the inhales and the exhales. Relaxing the space in between your eyebrows. Relaxing the jaw. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Breathing into your heart. We'll take 2 more breaths here together. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. It is bright and I am soaking it up. We're going to meet in a tabletop position, bringing our hands under our shoulders and our knees under our hips. And we're just going to take a little bit of movement. So maybe doing some circles, bigger or little small circles, going in both directions. And then bringing into a cat-cow, inhaling your heart forward, chin up. Exhale, bringing your chin to your chest, rounding the spine. And moving through those inhales and exhales. And feel free to move in any other way that feels good. Sometimes doing a little bit of a barrel roll feels nice. And we'll come to a neutral spine. Inhaling that right arm up to the sky, opening up that chest, and then threading the needle. So bringing that arm behind your left arm, dropping your shoulder and your temple to the mat into thread the needle pose. There's a few variations you can take with your left arm. You can stretch it out in front of you, or you can bind it behind you and try to hook it on your right leg. It allows you to open up the chest a little bit, which feels nice. One more breath here. And you'll bring that left arm back under your left shoulder. Push yourself up and open up that right arm to the sky again. And we'll switch sides. So inhaling the left arm to the sky, spreading it behind your right hand, dropping your shoulder, temple to the mat, and bringing your right arm either out in front of you or take a bind if you did on the other side. And bringing that right hand under that right shoulder, we'll press into the floor with your right hand, opening up the left to the sky again. And then bringing those hands back down to the mat. And we'll step our hands one handprint in front of where they are. And we'll step our left foot back, our right foot back, into a plank pose, high plank. And we'll take 2 breaths here. Warming up the core. And we'll shift back into downward facing dog. So pressing through those heels. You can bend into one knee, bend into the other, feeling your weight in your thumb and your forefinger. We'll take one more breath here. And we'll look to the top of our mat and step our feet to meet our hands into a forward fold. And then roll all the way up to standing. So bringing our feet hip width distance apart. And we'll inhale our hands up to the sky. Exhale, take a baby back bend, cactus the arms, open up your chest to the sky. Inhale your hands back up, hinging at the hips. We'll come into a forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, planting those hands on the mat. We'll step our left foot back, right foot back into that high plank again. And we'll shift our shoulders just about an inch over our fingertips and slowly come all the way down to the mat. And exhale. So we'll take a T shape with our arms, and we're going to bend our, I'll bend my left leg, and we're going to do a little bit of a chest opener. So we're going to move that left foot and kind of flip it over to plant it on the floor, opening up that chest. And you can use that left hand kind of as a break. If you don't want to go as far open, you can kind of come forward and put some weight into that left hand. And breathe. And you'll come back to center, bringing out that left hand. Then we'll bend that right knee, bring that right hand in under our shoulder, and flip that right foot to the floor, opening up that left chest and shoulder. And we'll come back to center, bringing both hands under our shoulders. We're gonna push up and back to downward facing dog. Pedal out those feet again, bending those knees, dropping those heels to the mat. And we're gonna look to the top of our mat and step our feet to meet our hands, forward fold, and rolling all the way up to standing. Bring our hands to heart center. Exhale. We'll inhale our arms all the way up to the sky, hinging at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Plant those hands. Step back into plank. Take a breath here. And we're going to shift our shoulders just about an inch over our fingertips. Drop those knees. We're going to unhook those toes. And we're going to come down halfway, bringing those elbows at a 90-degree angle. Pushing up into cobra pose. And we'll tuck our toes and shift back into downward facing dog. And we'll look to the top of our mat, step our feet to meet our hands, forward fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Inhale your hands over your head, hinging at the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank, shifting your shoulders over your fingertips. Option to put your knees down or keep them raised. We'll come halfway down, chaturanga, flipping those toes, pushing through the mat into upward facing dog. My knees are lifted off the mat, you're engaged. And then pushing back through the hands, flipping the toes into downward facing dog. And we'll step our feet to meet our hands at the top of the mat, forward fold, and rise all the way up to standing into Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a deep breath here. Shaking out the arms or doing any movement or wiggles that feels good for you. We're just warming up the body, getting a little movement to start or end our day, or in the middle of the day, which is what I'm doing right now. Inhaling your arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant those hands, step your left foot back. And we'll rise up into crescent lunge, Bringing your biceps by your ears, keeping your legs engaged, taking a deep breath here. And we'll flip that back foot down, back heel down, opening up the hips to the side, looking down at your feet, making sure that you have heel to arch or heel to heel alignment on your mat. Bending into that front right knee, raising up our arms parallel to our mat, warrior two. And we'll straighten out that front right knee. Bring that foot parallel together into 5-pointed star. Stretch your arms and fingertips to the sky. Inhale and exhale, shifting that left foot forward into warrior two on the other side. So bending into that left knee, looking over those left fingertips. And then we're going to pivot that right foot into high lunge or crescent lunge. If you need to walk that left foot out a little bit to widen your base, totally fine. You want to feel steady on your feet. And then we'll bring our hands to our mat, stepping our left foot to meet our right, and then shifting our shoulders forward, choosing your own variation of chaturanga. Come down halfway, upward facing dog, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. And we'll lift our left foot up to the sky, bringing that knee into our chest, stepping it through. Bring your left foot in between your hands at the top of your mat, and then rising up to crescent lunge. One more breath here. And then spinning that back heel down, we'll open up into warrior two again. Looking at those heels. And then spinning that left foot parallel to your right into 5-point star. Stretching out long through your arms, through your legs, feeling the weight in your feet on the knife edge of your foot. And keeping a soft athletic bend in your knees. And then we'll twist that right foot forward, bending into that right knee. Bring your arms out, warrior two. And we'll twist that left heel up, squaring our hips to the front of the mat into high crescent lunge. Taking a deep breath here. Inhale. On your next exhale, bring your hands to your mat, stepping your right foot to meet your left. Shifting forward, coming down halfway, and into upward facing dog, and shifting back to downward facing dog. And we'll look to our hands at the top of the mat, walk our feet to meet our hands. forward fold. And inhale all the way up to standing. Now we're going to do a little bit of a leg / balance pose. So if you have some blocks, option to use them. So I'm going to grab mine. And I can show you how you can use blocks or any sort of support if you want to use it. So I'm going to put them on their highest setting right here. And we'll come back to the top of our mat, bringing our feet hip width distance apart. And we're going to sink back into chair pose. So sinking, we're going to inhale our arms up to the sky. So we'll have our biceps by our ears. And sitting back like you're going to sit on a chair. Keeping our knees in line with our ankles. And keeping our weight in our heels so you can kind of lift your toes up a little bit. Engaging the core. Taking a deep breath in. And bringing the hands to heart center. We're going to step our right foot back, kind of into the crescent lunge we were doing earlier, except we're going to keep our torso leaning forward. So, little balance, little challenge, especially for the standing left leg. We're going to shift our weight forward, coming off of those back right toes, straightening that left leg into warrior 3. So this is where you can use blocks if you want a little bit more support. Bringing the floor up to you. You can keep your hands at heart center. You can put your foot wherever. So if you want to test your balance, just bring your toe on and off the mat. Keeping a good, healthy, or just a safe bend in that standing knee. Again, you want to make sure you're not locking your knee. And then coming back to bring your feet to the top of your mat and stand all the way up. Just shake it out. Good job. My left leg is burning. Okay, and we'll go to the other side. A little tip when we're doing balance poses. In yoga, it's called drishti, and it's finding a spot on the floor, on the wall, something that's not moving in front of you that you can gaze at to help with that balance. So see if that works or helps a little bit on the other side. So we'll inhale, our hands up to the sky. And it's also helpful for balance if you don't have a cat brushing against you. Hey buddy, I love you. Okay. Inhaling our hands up to the sky. Exhale, sit back into chair pose. Taking a breath here. Bringing those hands to heart center. Stepping that left foot back. Keeping that upper body kind of forward a little bit. And then when you're ready, find your drishti, your focal point to focus on. And you can come up on those toes, shifting forward, lifting that back foot. If that's in your practice, if you feel comfortable doing that today. One side maybe a bit more wobbly than the other, and that's totally normal. As you can see, my right side is a little wobbly. One more exhale here. And bringing your feet at the top of your mat, coming up to standing. Shake it out. Good job. That was fun. Sometimes it's fun to add some balance moves. It's good to work in balance and strengthening one side of the body And we're gonna come all the way down onto our mats. Bring our sit bones to our mat. We're gonna stretch those legs out in front of us. Inhaling our spine tall. Actually, for staff pose, for this pose, I like to add a little bit of a cushion to my hips. It helps me keep my spine tall. So if you don't have a blanket or anything, you can just fold your mat, give you a little bit of a cushion. It allows me to shift my hips forward. Inhale straight and exhale, fold over those legs. Trying to keep your back straight too, so that's a little hard sometimes. Especially for me, I have very tight hamstrings. Walking your hands up your legs, bringing your feet together into butterfly pose. So for this, you can bring your feet out or in as close as you would like, as close feels comfortable. Trying to bring your knees down to the mat. You can even give yourself a little foot massage here. You worked hard. You did good. If you would like, you can inhale your spine tall and then fold over those legs. And if you're folding forward, walk yourself back up to an upright seated position. And we'll bring our feet out long again. We're going to step our left foot in, bending our knee, placing our foot on the mat. Option to stay here. We're going to do a gentle twist, or you can place it on the other side of your right leg. We're going to inhale our spine tall. Again, you can just stay here and hug your leg into your chest, or you can raise your right arm to the sky and hook that right elbow on your left knee and twist, looking over your left shoulder. And on your next exhale, come back to center. Give that leg a little bit of a hug to your chest. Stretching out that glute a little bit. And bring that left leg long. And we'll bend that right knee, stepping that foot either inside or outside your left leg. Inhale your spine tall, left arm to the sky, and on your exhale, hooking that left elbow to your right knee and twisting to the right. One more breath here. And we'll untwist. Oh, let's give that leg a little hug to the chest. Bringing that leg out long. And we'll come all the way down onto our backs into our Shavasana. Finding a comfortable position on the mat. Taking a few moments here to feel your body on the floor, to notice the difference after that movement. You can stay here as long as you need to. This is your practice. This is your space. If you are ready to move into your day, start bringing movement into your fingers and your toes. Bending those knees, placing the feet on the mat, and rolling over to one side and shifting up into a seated position. Move at your own pace. Thank you so much for joining me today for this simple flow, and I'm so grateful that you chose to be here, and I'm really excited to see what we get to do together with your yoga studio. This is your space. This is for you to show up, to be seen, to be held, and yeah, you're welcome here. Bringing your hands to heart center. Taking one final deep breath together. The light in me recognizes and adores the lovely, beautiful, strong light in you. Thank you so much. And let me know if there are other flows or anything you would like to see from your yoga studio. Thank you so much for joining me and my kitties today in this sunshiny filled day. And I will see you next time. Bye.